And we are live with weekly training for Metro AI/BrokerBot here at KW Metro. I'm Broker Bob, your instructor for the day. So I want to open it up to people who has been using it and give me some feedback. What have you been using it for, and what kind of give feedback about what it's been doing for you?
Okay, give me a second. I have to pull it up because I've been using it so much that I don't remember what I've been using it with. I mean, it's all been transactional, real-time transactional questions that I've had at 10 p.m. at night, so I don't have to ask BB for it. I don't have to reach out to him. But give me a second and I'll look it up.
All right, I'll give you an example. I got a 9 o'clock text last night from an agent, which I'm more than happy to answer. But it was a simple enough question that BrokerBot could have answered it. It was doing a 1031 exchange and wanting to know if they needed to put a contingency of purchase on the offer. And I'm like, hell yeah. And BrokerBot will actually guide you through it. Another thing is contract review. If you're writing your contracts, and I did this week with a listing agreement that I on a new listing I have in La Mesa, and it went through, and fortunately everything was good, but I have uploaded some stuff for myself that it wasn't perfect. So it gave me what I needed to do. It'll also do strategy. So if you're writing a contract and it's a multiple offer bid situation, you can ask BrokerBot, will you review this offer and give me a strategy to make this a winning offer? And then put in if you know information about who you're competing against because the listing agent has told you, you can say, I know we're competing against this type of offer and this type of offer. The more information you give it to it, the better. So one of the things I want you guys to remember is it's all about your prompts. So think about there's two type of learners in this world. There's a direct learner and an inferential learner. A direct learner is someone that you tell that exactly what you want it to do. An inferential would be like you don't need to tell them the whole thing, or I'm sorry, not learner, listener. You would tell them something, but they don't quite get it. So for instance, let's say I was at Sherry's house and we were just having a conversation, and I said to Sherry, God, you know what? A glass of water would be nice. Now, a direct person would get up and get the water.
Hmm.
An inferential person would be just sitting there. Oh, okay, yeah, sounds good. Right? It doesn't quite understand that I was trying to say, hey, I would really like a glass of water. Can I have it? Be like something saying, well, I'd like for you to go to the store, and I feel like I want chicken enchiladas tonight. Can you go to the store? I could, but I don't know what I need to get the ingredients to make chicken enchiladas. So then you would have to give me a shopping list. So just keep that in mind when you're asking Metro AI for questions. So, Karine, are you ready to say what you've been using it for?
Yes, and on that note too, Robert, what I like about it is that I'm not, this is fairly new to me, the prompts. And so I like how I can I just talk to it and it'll ask me questions or it'll give me a response and then I can clarify, well, no, this is the case. Like for instance, I had a question about the occupancy type on an offer that we had received on one of my listings. And um I stated the question and then it gave me a response, but it was based on a financing situation, for instance, and the offer that we received was all cash. So I said, no, this is all cash. And then it rethought and it gave me an answer. So I like that we're able to, if we don't really know what we're asking, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And that I'm able to continue to ask it and refine what I'm asking. And it helps train me in how to ask it questions in the future. But I used it for the optional wildfire disclosure report. I It was a situation regarding that. I asked that. I asked about the incorrect occupancy type on an RPA that we received, that I had been disclosed certain information and they had not put it that way in the RPA. And then I've asked it about the digital, if the fireplace having flames, if that counts as a digitally altered photo. I wasn't sure because it's kind of obvious when they have that. So, and it wasn't put at my request. So anyway, I, and then I got an answer on that. And then I did do your marketing package example, and that came out really awesome. So I've been using it
Good.
ad nauseum
I'm
actually, and I
glad. And
love it.
break it. And break it. Keep asking if you're not getting the answer. It was being a little brat with me yesterday and today because it was not working for me with my one prompt. And I did everything, but I think maybe I overloaded it. So,
You know what? I've been kind of being a punk to it, because I've been doing exactly that when it doesn't give me the response that I need. Or one time, actually, one of my responses got erased. When I went back, it was the marketing one. And I went back and it wasn't there anymore. And so I asked it, I said, "What happened to the response you gave me yesterday?" And it said, "Oh, this is the only response." And I said, "No." I said, "You gave me a response on this day." I was kind of, and it actually responds, "I apologize," or whatever. It's interesting how I've been kind of rough with it, but
yeah, good.
yeah.
Love hearing that. So, anybody else been using it and want to share some stories?
I've used it a little bit for CMAs and a prelim. I haven't used it, and I guess what happened is I got used to ChatGPT, so I need to come over to the other side, especially anything to do with contracts,
Yes,
the
definitely.
BrokerBot. Yeah,
Because we're a closed system.
yeah, no, it makes total sense.
So today Corrine, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Sherry, I resonate with that completely because I had always been using ChatGPT, and let me tell you, this is so much better because BB gives it information. It's very appropriate for our market center and
Yeah.
Robert, and it's amazing. Ask it anything like with transaction related or anything, and it's just been a mind blowing experience for me. And I'll still go into ChatGPT for other things, but I've noticed that this is like better for our transactional and our business
So
related
one
things.
thing I'll say about ChatGPT, stop using it and move over to Claude. I've moved everything
Yeah.
over to Claude, and Claude, I'm following these generative AIs. Claude is, so if you guys remember back in when the interwebs, yes, interwebs, I mean, the interwebs was starting and there was a web browser called Netscape. So they are saying that ChatGPT will be the Netscape of AI because they are falling behind and Claude is moving forward a lot faster. And so I've switched everything over to Claude and my answers from it are so much better.
And you
So
like
if for
that
that,
better than Gemini?
I'm using Gemini and Claude. I
Okay.
still go back and look at ChatGPT, but I get much better quality output from Claude,
Hmm.
especially if I'm writing stuff. Now remember, Metro AI is using Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini,
Hmm.
and 197 other large language models. So it's pulling
Oh,
from all of those, which is why
yeah.
your responses might take some time.
Yeah. And
One thing I want to do today is address what GEO and SEO means. So if you know what SEO, that is search engine optimization. And GEO is the new format called generative engine optimization. In other words, you're using a large language model. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see, and I have it written up here. So, and why this is important for you guys as real estate agents to understand this, you could literally start putting information out there in this generative AI model and grow a business because then what people are using, they're using ChatGPT and Claude much more than they're using web browsers. So generative AI basically means you're sending the information out there about who you are, what your vertical market is, what you specialize in. So like Corinne, you do probates. I would start creating a Substack, which is basically a blog, but it's a Substack that you start posting probate content on it. And you have generative AI draft these articles for you. You could do a series of them. And I can show you that offline, but that's much more than what we're going to be doing today. But a Substack, if you guys went to family reunion, you listened to the social media con, Gary Vee said Substack should be what agents should be putting out there. And it's so easy to create content using generative AI to do that. So what is GEO in plain English? Forget Google's blue links for a moment. When someone opens Chat, Gemini, Perplexity, and types, who is the best real estate agent in Mission Valley or San Diego? And AI answers them directly. It doesn't show a list of website. It'll name someone. So GEO is the strategy of making sure that name is yours. And you do that by putting content out there using generative AI. So traditional SEO, search engine optimization using keywords, would get you to the top of search results. GEO will get you cited by putting information out there about you, your business, who you are, who your vertical market is. So if you're dealing with first-time home buyers, probate, luxury, think about what your vertical market is and start creating content to put out there in like a Substack that will direct people to you because you're now the authority on it. And so that's why I've created my Substack. You guys will all be getting emails from me soon. Please subscribe to it. It's free, but it does ask you if you want to pay for it. Don't pay for it. It's free. But I'm putting content out there from a managing broker point of view so that I can direct people to want to work here at KW Metro. And I do some 1031 exchanges. That's my specialty. So I'll be doing some content like that as well too. Let's get into today on how to one-up your marketing though, because that's what you're here for. So you're logged into your Metro AI. This is what the screen looks like. And let's say I have a new listing coming up, which I do, co-listing with Alicia, and I created the prompt. I want you to write me a compelling property description under 500 characters for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Fletcher Hills area of San Diego with recent upgrades of a home that was upgraded with new electrical, plumbing, kitchen, bathrooms, heating, and air HVAC on a private lot, 2-car garage, quiet street, easy access to main freeways, shopping and community amenities of parks, playgrounds, nature trails using vivid and emotional language. The address is the address, so pull information about the area. And in order to make a room for a primary expanded bathroom, one of the rooms lost a window, so keep that in consideration to remain MLS compliant. That was the prompt I came up with. And this prompt is in the Metro AI prompt list. So that is, if you don't have it, you should, because I've sent it out several times. But if you don't have it, during this call, I'll drop it into the chat box. But let's just see what Metro AI comes up with. All right, it's being a little bitch. While it's doing that, I'm going to go get the prompt list and drop it into, yes.
It's kind of neat to see how it's thinking. It goes too fast to really read everything, but you can kind of catch certain
So
parts where it's
if
cool.
you look in the chat box, I dropped the prompt list. All right, what's it doing today? Here we go. So, because in my prompt I said that one of the bedrooms lost a window because they wanted to expand the master bath. So now we have to market it as a optional bedroom or an office. We really can't call it a bedroom. So I told it to tell me how I stay compliant with the MLS. Okay. And it gave me this really nice property description. Tucked in serene Fletcher Hill Street, this stunning reimagined two-bedroom plus bonus room dazzles with a brand new kitchen, spa-like baths, and all-new electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. The luxurious expanded primary suite is a true retreat, private lot, two-car garage, and effortless access to I-8, State Route 25, Grossmont Shopping, and La Mesa's beloved parks, trails, and playgrounds. Now I'm going to ask it. It's not giving me the full answer it got the other day, which is really pissing me off. But let me say, yes, I want to, yeah, give me a longer version and highlight the community amenities, parks, and etc. Oh, that's why it gave me such a short one, because I asked for 500 words or less. Now it's going to go out and show what community of Fletcher Hills is like. So if you go through that, it expanded on what it said previously. Now, how long would it taken you guys to have done that on a new listing you have? I also in the prompt forgot to put in the prompt, please make it fair housing compliant. Matter of fact, I'll ask that question because I want to make sure we don't put in walking. I like what it does about the private loft, offers a rare sense of serenity in the city, your own outdoor escape where morning coffee feels like a moment of peace and evenings under the stars as simply yours. But what sets this home apart is it talks about Fletcher Hills. See, what I'm trying to do is sell the community as well. So I'm looking for that buyer that might not be from San Diego, maybe. Maybe they're from the East Coast or Midwest, and they don't really know San Diego, but they kind of want to have an orientation about how far it is to get on the freeway, maybe even how far it is to get to downtown or La Jolla. So people can gauge commute times, because that's important for a buyer too, is they'll want to know about engaging commute times to where they need to go to. And then let's now it's probably not going to do the listing flyer exactly how I like it because I have not uploaded the KW logo, but let's see what it comes up with for a listing flyer. Now, if you're using it to create professionally branded materials, what I would do is before you do it is upload your logo you want to use. Make sure it has all of your contact information correctly. Because what I noticed it was doing this week was it was putting in the ChatGPT phone number. It wasn't putting in my phone number. So make sure it has all your contact information, your DRE number. It already has ours and whatever logo, and you can tell it what colors you want. So in this one, I'm going to say create a listing flyer using the KW Metro logo with all of the DRE compliant. Now it already knows this because I've uploaded it. First point of contact information and use red and black colors. Now it's asking me to upload a photo, so let me see. I don't have the photos yet. I'm gonna do this. I want to see what you can come up with. All right, you have it. I don't know why you're asking it again. Might be too late. It's generating it. I didn't realize I had quick access to it. Now, how great would that be on the fly that you're running out the door and you're going to your open house and you don't have time to sit down in Canva and make a flyer? Now, it's not perfect, but at least it's something if you need something quick. Okay. Again, if you saw what I was giving it, all right, what's going on? I'll upload the logo and see if it, so I'll show you the more information you give it, the better output you'll end up with. So if I did have some pictures now, it would put them in there. And voila, in the time it's going to take. All right, it didn't do the logo perfectly, but I can go back and adjust it. But for fairness of time on this, um, it put everything I needed in there.
Mm.
And what it continues to ask you, do you want a square Instagram for Facebook? Do you want to just list a postcard, or do you want me to virtually stage any photos? Now, here's a note on virtually staging. It's not 100% accurate. So if you're using it and you're not getting the results you'd like, keep asking the question. It is still in beta with the photos. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, let's go to the next one we're going to do. Talking about content. So remember we talked about content and using a Substack to get your content out for vertical marketing. So here's another one. Let's talk about what can I put on that content? Let's say I'm working for people that are relocating to San Diego. What information could I put out there or create? Generate a list of top 10 post ideas with catchy titles focused on keyword relocating to San Diego. Now, this would not be for a blog, but it's blog post ideas. And I'll show you how easy it is to create content to get out there and using GEO to have information out there. Pro tip on this, each of these doubles as a social media post, an email campaign, or a YouTube video. Okay, so if you wanted to create content, let's say I like the relocating to San Diego. Here's everybody nobody tells you, but you should. The Honest Insider Guide, cost traffic. What I'm going to do, this information. Now, how quick can this be to use a lead capture system to offer this as a source for people that are thinking about moving to San Diego if that's what your vertical market is?
Yeah, I want to read the article.
Oh my gosh, this is going to help you guys so much. So remember, so that one was generate a list of top 10 blog post ideas, gave them to me, and then I had it create a blog post for each one of those that it created. And I can easily put that on Substack. So I like this one. Let's try this one, see what we come up with. Act as a social media copywriter. Write 3 distinct Instagram posts for first-time home buyers in San Diego County. For each post, use a different hook. One myth busting, one mistakes to avoid, and one how to hack. So again, you want to create content. Your content includes the same content that's on your Instagram Reels, your Facebook, YouTube, or your YouTube Shorts, and the Facebook Reels. Again, this is all cut and paste right into your social media platforms. So let me show you guys my Substack. I forgot to load that. So Substack again is think of it as a blog. In the old days, we used to have blogs. Now Substack is a way for the old media that's dying out, that are leaving these big organizations, and they're creating their own little ecosphere of the stuff they write on, and then they charge people to subscribe or they give stuff away for free. I'm writing stuff on a Substack about the real estate market because I want to be the foremost authority for real estate in San Diego. So this Substack article is basically um, I took information from what's going on in the Middle East and I tried to assuage people's fears about the real estate market because in the long run, the real estate market is always going to do well in San Diego, even considering if there's short-term issues going on in the world. It's always going to be a great time to buy. So that was the framework that I wrote for the article. And I had Claude help me write it. I give it the basic outline of the article about what I want it to say. and then it goes ahead and helps me write the draft, and then I'll go through and edit the draft, and I'll say, no, I want to add a personal story here. I'll create the personal story, etc. And I do that all in Claude. I actually did this article actually in BrokerBot, and then I put it back into and took it into Claude and had it refined there too. So you can go in and cut and paste everything you write and put it into different stuff. Corinne, did you raise your hand?
Yes, thanks, BB. So is this what, once you write it in Substack, is that what you use to put into LinkedIn? Like I've seen some things
Yes.
on LinkedIn. Okay.
Yes. So I can put it into LinkedIn. I used to write articles on LinkedIn, but what I realized with LinkedIn is if you're not a LinkedIn member, you can't see it. And so some of my friends that are my age that I went to college with, I'd share an article with them like, I can't see it. I don't belong to LinkedIn because they're not working anymore. So it's a good place to have it. But in my LinkedIn, what I do with my articles is I reference them to my Substack. So like this article right here is I had my intro that I put on LinkedIn with a direct link to my Substack. No longer do I store them on LinkedIn. The reason I like Substack is you're the owner of that. You own it now. LinkedIn might cut it off from being seen someday. Okay?
Robert, can you explain Substack? Where does that live? Where do you have it?
Think of Substack as what old blogs used to be.
Yeah.
So they're no longer blogs. Substack just basically took what blogs were and allowed people to be able to monetize what they write. So one of the only one I subscribe to right now is Andy Borowitz. If you know he's a political satirist. And
Mm.
he's almost like the Onion, if you're familiar with the Onion.
Yep.
So he's like that. His stuff is funny. So I pay to subscribe to his content. It's like 25 bucks a year or something like that. So
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 when you redirect from LinkedIn, where is the Substack living?
it's just like a blog, it's like a website.
It's in a website?
Yeah, it's like substack.com and it's my own section
Oh,
within
okay.
Substack.
Okay, I didn't realize you put it in Substack.com because
Yeah.
I also know there's like Stan Store.
There's other like
Yeah.
blog type websites out there like that. Substack's one of the more prominent ones right now.
Yeah.
And did you
Okay.
say, Robert, that we don't have to pay for it, or you mentioned
No,
something
it's
about
free.
for
Well, my
for anybody
newsletter's
or
free.
through you?
Oh, no. If you want to subscribe to it and pay me, go ahead, but I don't have that set up. It will ask you, do you want to be a patron for like 80 bucks a year, 30 bucks a year, or free? Just click the free.
Okay.
I don't even have payment set up on it yet. I literally just set it up like 2 weeks ago. So I'm just building out content on Substack, and I'm still learning how to navigate through it. Next thing I want to show you. Now, we all know we all need to be doing video, right? Because video is where GEO really gets a lot of their content information from. So if we're going to do video, let's figure out, well, what am I going to say? So on this one, create a 2-minute video script for a market update in Mission Valley. Include 2 to 3 key statistics. Explain what they mean for buyers and sellers, and end with a clear call to action. You don't have to do a YouTube short. You can get up and do a quick video and just upload it to Facebook or Instagram. Do it on Reels. So it's going to go out and pull the current Mission Valley market data. And then Yvette, are you still on here? Because I see you said
Yes,
you attended a Q1 broker bot product update.
yes,
I
it
missed
was
that.
pretty
So
good.
what did you learn on that?
It was pretty good. A matter of fact, I went and turned on the integration. So having that on, that makes broker bot even more expensive. So, and then they also were showing the whole thing we just did with the listing flyer. They had Canva connected. So that way, when you're asking all those questions to create a listing, it'll open up Canva where you can go and make changes on where you want the logo. It gives you a little bit more options. Whereas Broker Bob, it kind of stay put where you saw it. Whereas Canva gives you a little bit more room to move things around. So it was a pretty good and they're going to be doing it quarterly. So
Nice.
And
All right.
Robert, I just real quick, I don't know if I had signed up for it, but I missed it also, but they sent me the recording, so I'm happy to forward that to you.
Would you? I want to see what they, because I'm getting the same information. I want to see what you guys got.
okay.
So here it created multiple 2-minute video scripts. Oh no, it created one. Created the one. So you got an opening, stat number 1, stat number 2, stat number 3, and then a closing call to action. All right. So if you don't know what to say, you got it right now. And I know the biggest fear for a lot of people is being on camera. And as they said, people have a fear of being on camera because of what they look like. And what do they say? That's how you look. So just get over it. It's okay. Just show who you are. If you make a mistake, it's okay. People want authenticity. And I really like this. Create a branded market update graphic to pair with this video. There's also write a shorter 30-second reel version for Instagram. If you don't want to do 2-minute video, but you want to do it on Instagram Reel, let's see the graphic it comes up with first, though. I like that, Yvette. Simple sales, fancy fails. I mean, I have all of these videos of training. I have a VA that goes ahead and makes YouTube shorts, and I hate listening to myself. So I just upload the shorts. I don't even listen. Oh my gosh. Look how quick that is. You guys are worried about getting content out there. Now you have a source to do it. You just need to know the contacts. And then let's go back to the write a shorter 30-second version for Instagram. You see all this stuff that it gives you though? How to use this graphic? Tells you how to use it. Then it gives you, do you want me to do something else? Create a vertical story version of this graphic. Write the email newsletter to go with it. Build a market update graphic for other San Diego neighborhoods. So you don't need to wait for Jacqueline's escrow partners thing that she puts out once a week. Now you come here and do it. It's quick, easy. You don't have to spend time in Canva to do it, which is great. I mean, not that that's bad with Jacqueline's stuff. I'm just saying that takes time. So here's your 30-second Instagram reel script. And then again, they have these prompters that you can load into your camera so you can read what you're saying. Just don't have your eyes move too much. Okay. All right. That is what I wanted to share today is quick, easy stuff for you guys to use to one up your game to get involved in GEO. Now, what's the difference between GEO and SEO? First, what is the S? What's it stand for?
Search.
Search. And what does G stand for?
Generative.
Exactly. Trish wins the award today.
Woo!
So the name of the
Winner.
game for you guys right now and everybody in the world to have your business move forward is GEO. Putting content out there. Gary Vee said that agents should be spending, now, some people disagree, but half of their time doing this every day. Don't forget your other business, but getting your name out there and your name recognition, people are going to ChatGPT, find me a local agent in San Diego County. or find me an agent that specializes in probate or luxury homes or new home development or whatever your vertical market is. Make your content to that vertical market and use something like Substack, which you can create content. It takes me less than 5 minutes to do that post yesterday on the Iranian crisis, and then upload it into Substack. Now, the whole thing took me about an hour because then I put it on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook.
You mean the
But
article about the long game?
what's that?
The long game?
Yeah.
That article that you were saying the long game wins?
Oh, always.
Yeah. But I mean, is that the article that you were talking about just now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I basically said, I uploaded all the homes I bought in San Diego County since 1992. And the purpose of the article was to show, even during those times, 1992, for those of you, most of you aren't as old as me, but there was a savings and loan crisis. Now, savings and loans don't exist anymore, but S&L crisis was the late 80s. See, we always end up in these banking crises, but nothing was selling in San Diego County. And it was the same type of environment we're in right now. So that was when I bought my first home. That same home that I bought in 2000 or 1992 for 210 in South Park. And you didn't want to live in South Park in 1992. That same home is 1.6 million. So it's the long game. Okay. All right, guys. Any other questions before I go? And Karina, I don't know if I think Home Federal Savings and Loan. Yes, they were part of the S&L crisis in San Diego. So, all right, kids. Next
Thank
week,
you so much.
Yeah.
next week we'll
Exciting
have
stuff.
something else
Thank
to learn.
you.